Hello, welcome to my workshop, and the show is called Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini. I was just working on this cougar sculpture with the two cubs. But today what I'd like to show you is how to do a dolphin mother and a dolphin baby, as you can see right here. And I will show you how to do that and create it. I want to make it look like they were both riding a wave, and I will show you how to do that and how to put them on top of those waves. I'll show you how to paint them from start to finish. And I think it would be an interesting little project for today. There's several types of clay that you can use for this. There's this modeling clay that's an oil-based clay that never hardens. I used to use it a lot when I was a little kid, and it's very good clay. You can just reuse it again and again and again, and you can do a lot of detail with it, but it just never hardens. Another type of clay that you can use is air hardening clay. Probably would harden like in a couple hours or maybe even overnight, and you could use that. This one here you can paint. This type of clay, as well as the oil-based clay, can be bought in the art store, and you know, they're very good to use. But my preference for the clay is something called Super Sculpey. You can fire this in the oven at 275 degrees, and you know, it's a very good clay to work with. You can do a tremendous amount of detail, and I just enjoy using it. And what I will do today is I will show you how to do, we're going to take a ball of clay, and I'll just show you how you just take pieces of clay off that, and we're going to kind of do like the additive technique for the clay. What we will do is I will proceed to take a piece of clay off here, right here, and I will take, and I want to make a little base. So you take this, we're almost going to make like a little mound. What I'm going to do is we'll take this, I'm going to tamp it on the table, like this. And we're actually going to make 4 of these. So what I'm going to do is take this, and we're going to take, and I'll make, oh no, not 4 of these, I meant to say 2. We're only going to make 2 of these. We're going to make 1 for the mother and 1 for the baby. I was thinking, I have actually 4 sculptures here, and that's what I was thinking about. We're going to take, and I will show you, we will take this, and we will make the base. I'll show you how, and then we're going to kind of make it look like a little wave. You'll see here, I'm making like a little point. You take this, and you kind of make that little point for the wave. I'm just going to tamp that down a little bit. And we're going to look at this other one too. They almost look like a couple of little waves. So what we would do, we're going to use our old friend, Mr. Tinfoil right here. What I like to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to make the texture for the water. We had used this in several shows in the past, and I will show you how you take the tinfoil and you rake it along the clay to make it look like a wave. You just take and you create that texture. You're going to take and just run this along here like this, and that creates the effect of a wave. I'll show you. Just take that and just bring that along, rake that along the base like that. We'll take, we'll just kind of do that, and you're just going to make that like that. You're going to take that, and we're going to do the same for the baby's base too. You want to take and just rake that along there like that to create that water-like effect. You want to take and just rake that to give that texture of the water. Now we have the 2 bases done now. As you can see, the texture, if you look closely, you can see the texture that we made with the tinfoil. I love using the tinfoil because it makes that wonderful texture for the water. And I did the same for the small base for the baby also. And what we would proceed to do now is we're going to make, I think we'll proceed to make the baby first. So what you do is take a ball of clay. You're going to take the clay off here. And we're going to create almost like a torpedo shape for the body, for the little baby dolphin. You're going to take, see, you want to take and create almost this type of shape for the baby. What we're going to do, this end here is the tail. As you can see, I'm thinning it out. And then we're going to make, on the other end, we're going to make a little snout like this. I'll show you. You just kind of make the little snout, kind of shape it with your fingers, like that. What we are going to do is, so this is what it will ultimately look like. This is what it will look like from the front. As you can see, this is what it will look like from the side. And this is what it will kind of look like from the top. We will proceed now to take, what I like to do now is I want to take and make the dorsal fin. So what I'm just going to do is take a little bit of clay off of here, and we're going to take and place that on top of the baby dolphin like that. And you take, and you just kind of make that into almost think of a triangular shape. So what we're going to do is we'll work that in. And I'm going to take, and I like to work the fin in like this, go all around, and just kind of work that in like that. So then the next thing we want to do is we're going to take and create his flippers. So we will take and we will create flippers. So I'm just going to take a little bit of clay off here. Make sure I have roughly the right amount. So I will show you, we will take, and the flippers, you almost make those into a triangular shape too. You go like this. As you can see there, you kind of flatten it out, and we will take, and we will kind of add that to the baby dolphin. Just kind of work that like that. As you can see, I'm just kind of working the clay in. So then the next step we will take is we'll create the other flipper. So we're going to take and create the other flipper like this. And it's almost a triangular shape. Like that. You got to flatten it out. We're going to take now, and as you can see, we're going to work that in on the other side. You're going to see how we're going to take that, work it into the body. So you see now, this is what the little baby dolphin looked like from the bottom. This is what it looked like from the front and from the top now. Don't worry so much about the proportions. I just kind of give you the basic shape of the dolphin, just to give you an idea how it's made. The top of the dolphin here, that's called the dorsal fin. These two are his flippers. And the tail, these are actually, when you make the tail, these are called flukes. And that's what enables the dolphin to propel himself through the water. So I will take some clay off here, and I will take, and I will work it like this. And I will show you. You just shape the little tail area, kind of like this. You just work it like that. You do that. And then we will take, and we will proceed to make the other side. We will take and make this tail. And we will, you try to make them roughly even. Trying to show you how we'll kind of just take that. We'll take, do that. We'll kind of work that a little bit. Take that. And then what I like to do too is take my fingernail, kind of make like a little indentation in the back like that. So it roughly looks like that. So what we would want to do now is I want to take and put a little twist into his body like this. And we're going to kind of have him like riding the wave. So we would take and we will go like this. We will take and just kind of rub that into the wave. So when you see him, this is what he'll look like from the side. That's what he will look like from the top. See how that is? We kind of made the body so he's riding the wave. The next step in the process that I like to do is we're going to take a toothpick. So we're going to make his eyes. So you before we do the eye, I think we'll do the dolphins, when they breathe, they have a little blowhole on top of their head. We're going to do that first. Put a hole in the top of his head. And that's how they breathe. That's their nose, like our nose is in front of our face. Theirs is on top of their head. And that's how they breathe. So now I'm going to take and poke another hole for his eye on that side. And then I'm going to take and do the same. I'm going to try to make sure that they line up. So I'm going to take and poke it on this side. And then what I also want to do is we can give him a little mouth. So in the snout here, just kind of work make the indentation for the mouth. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So you can kind of see how that looks. It's very small, the detail I'm working with. So but that's what you want to do there. Now we have finished with the baby. So we're going to put this down, and we're going to proceed to make the mother. So we wanted to make her body into almost like a torpedo shape again. So let me just take the clay off here. And I'm just going to add a little bit more. I want to make sure she's much bigger than the baby. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to work this clay and make almost like I said, like a torpedo or something. I'll show you. We're going to just kind of work this. In this area here is going to end up being the tail, but I'll show you. Just kind of mold it with your fingers, and then I'll show you what it will look like. I almost think of like almost like a torpedo shape. The reason why dolphins have such a streamlined body, that enables them to swim through the water very quickly. So we will take, and I'm going to make the bottle nose here on the front, because it's an Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. And we're going to take, and one of the things I want to do at this step too is maybe kind of smooth it out a little bit with my fingers, because the clay is a little rough here at times. So, and you just kind of take and work it with your fingers like this. And you can smooth out the body. That way you can get out any imperfections in the clay. So now the next step in the process that I will take, but I want to show you what this looks like. This is what the body will look like right now. You have that's the snout, then this is the tail area. So that's usually thinner. So this is what it will look like from the top. See how it thins out here? It's bigger here, thinner here. You got the snout, and then it thins out here. And I just kind of rotate it so you can kind of see what it looks like. The next step I like to take is make the dorsal fin. And that's the fin on the back. So we will take the clay, and I will take and make this into a triangular shape like this. Kind of just work it like that. It's going to be flat when you look at it from this angle. You kind of have that triangular shape like that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place that dorsal fin on top of the dolphin. I'm going to work that in. See, you want to work that into the clay. And I'll show you just like that. Just take your fingers and work the clay. And you're going to, that's what and I'll just show you, now that we got that in there, That's what the dorsal fin will look like. We're going to proceed to make the flippers. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take another piece of clay off of here. Don't worry so much about the proportions right now. What I'm trying to do is teach you how to, and you're going to make that triangular shape on these too, the flippers. So you take and do that. We're going to add that flipper here like this, and you just work it in. It's going to work that in. So then we'll work it in from all sides. As you can see here, just work that in. So this is what it's looking like right now. And we're going to put another flipper on the other side. So we'll now we'll proceed to make the other flipper. So what we will do is we're going to make that triangular shape again, like that. Just make that triangular shape for the flipper. Now, we're going to and we're going to work that in on the bottom of the dolphin. So we're going to kind of work that in. Just work that piece of clay in. You know, it's approximately the same size. You know, just kind of eyeball it. Make sure they're approximately the same size. And once we have that completed, what I like to do now is I want to make the tail. So this is what the dolphin should look like at this point. It's you have the flippers. I want to show you from the top. You have the dorsal fin, which is the fin that's up here. You have the snout, and this is going to be the tail. So now we will proceed to make the tail. Now, we'll just take a little piece of clay. What's great about this is you can, as you make it, if the proportions don't look right, you can add or you can subtract. And that's called the subtractive additive technique for the clay. So we will take, and I'll work this in. I want to flatten this out. You know, you see I'm just flattening this out. So, and then you kind of give a little, I like to always give it like a little tweak up here, give it a little pinch, so it almost creates like a little point. But that's what the tail should start to look like. And we will proceed to make the other side. Now, we will take this, and I will work this from the other side. And we just want to make sure it's approximately the same size. And let's see. We will take, and just, as you can see, we're looking to make sure it's roughly the same size. And it approximately is the same size. So I like to take my fingernail and just kind of make that little indentation there. And what we will do is this is what the dolphin will look like now. You can see from the top, from the side, from the other side, you know, then the bottom. What we want to do is we want to make, as we did in the baby dolphin, we want to make the blowhole in the top of the head. That's the way dolphins breathe. So you poke a hole there. And then you want to make the eyes. So you're going to make the eyes like that. You poke a hole in the side here. And then you try to make it in approximately the same location on the other side. And then what we want to do is make the snout. We're going to make like a little mouth. And then we would do the same. So then we would we'll try to get this around the front. And now we will take and work this right down here. So that's what the mouth should look like. And now we will proceed to add this to the wave. So we're going to take, and what you can do is just do this, kind of work it in. And another thing you can do too is kind of take the toothpick and run this so the clay kind of melts together or molds together. You can do this from both sides. This way it doesn't fall off. What I like to do now too is we want to take the dolphin and twist the tail a little bit. Kind of make it look like he's jumping through the air. So you can see the shape of the dolphin. See how I twisted the tail a little bit? They kind of give that motion of swimming. And that's what you want to do that. So now we have our baby dolphin and mother dolphin here that we made. And we will proceed now to do the painting portion. We've sculpted those now. And we will proceed to get the paints that we need. I am going to get the paints here. I have about 18 acrylic paints here. You can buy these in any art store. We're going to use a light blue for the highlights in the water. We are going to use blue, and we are going to use white, and then we're going to use gray for the dolphin color. So we will proceed. I'm going to move some of these things out of the way so they're not in our way. We will take and we will do the water first. I will show you we have a couple of dolphins that I made here that I had fired. I'm holding them right now. As you can see, the basic shape, very similar to what we had done there. So we're going to take, the first thing I would like to do is paint the base on both of these. We're going to take this blue paint and we're going to paint the base. So I'm going to take this, proceed to use the brush. What we want to do is when we're painting this, do an up and down, back and forth. So you go back and forth like that. And then you continue to back and forth. And like that. Do that. And we're going to proceed to do the same for the babies also. What we want to do is we're going to paint the baby's base now. When you paint the water, you're going to go all the way around. So you're going to paint all the way around like this on the wave. You don't want to paint the baby dolphin just yet, but just paint all around, as you can see here. And you do the same on the mother's base too. The next step I like to take is, we had seen when we did the shark head, and we had seen with the waterfall last week, that you take and you can use several different colors to kind of enhance the way things look. The light blue, which we will use now, as I'll show you, we kind of just dab it in different places like this. Dab in the blue color. Dab it in. As you can see, like the size brushes I used tonight, this one's a little thinner than the one that we used initially. The one that I had used to make the water was a little thicker, or because it can cover more territory or area with it. The next thing we will do is, I like to paint, I'm going to do the same blue highlights on the baby's base. Right here, as you can see. We're going to highlight that like that. And you do that all the way around. The next step in the process that I like to take, I'm going to take and clean this brush a little bit because I want to use it for the white color. Just going to dab this off a little bit. And then we're going to proceed to use the white. The white paints, or the white paint. We will take on the base now, just kind of flick the white here and there in different places. That will kind of give it the effect of the water being all churned up and being foamy. So you can see we're just kind of touching it ever so slightly and creating that white, the blue, the light blue, and the white. We had done the same thing with the waterfall, and we had done this with the shark a few weeks ago. And we'll proceed to do the same thing with the base on the baby. So you're just going to flick and do that white on the base here also. Hit different areas like that. You can go all the way around. Just kind of give it that, flick it like that. It gives a really cool effect. So the next step in the process that I like to take is we want to start to proceed to paint the dolphin. And we're going to use gray in color. The color gray here is probably a little darker than they actually are, but we're kind of limited to the number of colors unless I mix them. So we will take and we will paint the dolphin now. We're going to take and paint it this gray color. You go back and forth. And don't worry, like the eyes here, we already poked a hole for the eyes in the blowhole. So we're not really going to paint them a different color. We're just going to keep them the way they are. We're going to paint everything gray. So you go back and forth like this. And you're going to paint the entire dolphin that way. You're going to paint, going back and forth like that. And you'll paint the entire dolphin, the dorsal fin, the flukes, or the tail. Just like so. You paint that. Then you're going to paint the entire dolphin like that. And you will proceed to do the baby the same way. I'll just show you the back and forth strokes again. And you just paint the baby same way. And we're going to paint it all the way around, as you can see. We'll paint it like that. And that's how you proceed to paint the dolphins. Now the next step in the process is, as you paint the entire dolphin, I want to show you what the finished product will look like. This here, I'll try to hold them up together. These are the mother and the baby dolphin. As you can see, the contrast in the colors when we did the blue, the light blue, and the white. That's the little baby dolphin. That's what he kind of looks like. He's had that little twist in the tail. And then I'll show you the mother dolphin. You can see those nice contrast in the colors with the whites, the white and the blue, light blue and the blue. And we just made it a nice color. So it looks like she's riding that wave. And so you can make the mother and baby. And I figured it'd be a cool little project for you to do some afternoon or maybe even some morning. I always like to make baby animals with their mothers, and it's just really cool doing that. And I think that will conclude our show today, and I want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay. And I will proceed to get back to my sculpture and add the finishing touches, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Hi kids, how would you like to win some professional modeling clay like the one that I used in the show? Please send pictures of your creations in clay and we will enter them into a drawing. You can send by mail or email, and I can't wait to see what you've been up to.